Welcome back to Chamber Connect. I'm your host, Deb Newman, President and CEO of the Bangor Region Chamber of Commerce. And we're going to be talking about foreign trade zones. Very interesting. With our wonderful guest, Biguita Hernandez-Smith, who is the Economic Development Officer for the City of Bangor. Welcome to Chamber Connect.
Thank you so much, Deb.
It's good to have you here. Now, first of all, let's talk a little bit about how you interact and intersect and work with Bangor area businesses. The role of your department.
Economic development, yes. So as the Economic Development Officer, I lead the Economic Development team. So it is our duty to support small businesses in their efforts to be established, to grow, to expand, any type of difficulties or challenges that they have. We would like to be able to be contacted first. Just want to make the clear distinction that we do not provide direct service. However, we want to sit with the business, understand their need, and be able to navigate them to the right resource.
And you do a great job. When a business contacts the chamber, for example, and they're thinking about expanding or locating or looking for resources or tools, we always send them to the City of Bangor's Department of Economic Development.
And we appreciate that, and we take care of them, know that.
Thank you for the work you do. Now, one of the things that we've been talking a lot about is international trade, particularly with the tariff situation. And through those conversations, you have brought attention to foreign trade zones. And I thought it would be a great topic to cover on Chamber Connect because it may be something that you're listening and have no idea what foreign trade zones are about, or even if they're a potential resource for your business or a business you know. So, Biguita, can you give us like the 101 on FTZs?
Absolutely.
Great place.
I'm very happy to give the 101. So FTZ, so first off, we have a wonderful asset in our region, and that is the fact that we manage Foreign Trade Zone 58. And so what that means is that we can offer the Foreign Trade Zone program to 5 different counties. So that's Penobscot, Waldo, Washington, I'm missing Hancock, and I'm missing another one. But all in all, it's a large jurisdiction. So I want to make sure that people know it's not just Bangor's Foreign Trade Zone 58 for Bangor, but it really extends out. Foreign Trade Zone 101, the program. It's very timely right now. It's a strategic tool that's being used all across the nation. And for the most part, it is for businesses who do importing and exporting. And it allows you, if you are a member of the Foreign Trade Zone, aka an operator, that you're able to defer your tariffs coming in on those imports. As we know, we're in a very unstable tariff climate. So all in all, it allows you to be able to import your items, your goods into your foreign trade zone, that being your business. And then you can defer those tariffs, which allows for more cash flow for your business to contribute elsewhere so that you don't feel the immediate impact of that tariff burden or that tariff increase.
That was a great job describing it.
Thank you.
What types of businesses are a good fit?
Sure. So, I mean, we want to speak to businesses who are importing and exporting. I mean, that's the bottom line. You don't have to necessarily do both. If you're an importer, we can definitely, the Foreign Trade Zone is a program for you. If you import and export, absolutely as well. We just want to make sure that that business is involved in international trade. And, you know, we talk about the Foreign Trade Zone as a tool for the current tariff climate. However, if you look at its design and its core, it goes beyond the tariff climate, right? So it allows you, if you are working with tariffs that have not been increased, it allows you to defer those tariffs until they come out of the zone into U.S. commerce, and that's when you'll be able to pay for that's when the tariff will incur and will have the impact.
So that can really help with cash flow.
Absolutely. And what I like to tell businesses is, because cash flow, we can leave it there, but then I want to paint the picture. So cash flow being, you know, if tariffs are costing you $100,000 up front, If you are a foreign trade zone, you can defer those tariffs to, let's say, hiring. I want to take this $100,000 that I don't have to pay now, and I want to hire 3 employees who can potentially increase my revenue. Well, then when those employees get recruited, your revenue is more, so that when you actually incur the tariffs, there's not so much of that impact.
Right, that makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Yep, that makes sense. The tariff situation is constantly changing.
It sure is.
So, what is the tariff rate based on? Is it based on, is the rate based on when you actually have that initial transaction, even though it's deferred? Or do you pay based on the rate at the time when the payment's due?
Great question. So the tariff in itself, and I want to make sure that I want to use the words correctly. So a tariff is the percentage of the duty, right? But the duty is the actual amount that you get charged. Oftentimes used interchangeably, but I do want to make this distinction. And a tariff a tariff cost or a tariff duty is placed on an item based on its category. Now, what you were asking, Deb, is you were asking about whether or not that tariff stays the same.
Right.
So if you're bringing in an item and it has a certain tariff rate, and you bring that item into the trade zone and you manufacture that item into a different product, it could potentially have a higher tariff rate, or it could potentially have a lower tariff rate. The other piece is, and this is what was really a popular discussion during our call last week with Wade Merritt, is that if the item comes into the foreign trade zone at a rate, people are asking, well, if the rate gets lowered while it's in the foreign trade zone, do we get to benefit from that lower rate? And the answer is no, right? It stays at the rate that it comes in within the foreign trade zone.
That makes sense. Good to know. What is the process for a business to?
Yeah, so I don't want to make it too complicated. First and foremost, the process is contacting us, the economic development team at the City of Bangor. You can look at the City of Bangor website and look for us. It's either going to be Biguita Hernandez-Smith, I'm the economic development officer, or Brad Wall, who's our business development specialist. Either of us can talk to you about the benefits of the foreign trade zone, getting to know it a little bit better, the program, and also the actual process. Once we get to speak to you and kind of understand what your needs are, we then move to application, and that I don't want to get too nitty-gritty in the process, but our application will be submitted to the National Foreign Trade Zone entity, and then in that process, Customs, Borders, and Protection will be engaged as well. Okay. But all in all, it's a one-stop shop with us. We start the process, and we will guide every business through the process, although it goes into the hands of other organizations, if that makes sense.
So I'm putting on my business hat right now, and I'm thinking, okay, how much is this going to cost, and how long will it take? Yeah,
so the cost is different per business, right? So I can tell you about the City of Bangor. So we charge a $2,000 application upfront fee. And that fee is for us to be able to continuously promote and support the Foreign Trade Zone program, and that be marketing, promoting, all the things that we do to make sure that you're aware and you know about the program, and also us being able to support you in the program. So we charge that $2,000 upfront fee. The Foreign Trade Zone, National Foreign Trade Zone Department of Commerce, they charge a fee as well, and then CBP charges a fee. There are upfront costs. I want to be really clear with this. However, it's based on the actual business. So know that there are upfront costs, and I do not want that to scare or intimidate any business. If you are in the business of an international trade, you can definitely understand how this upfront cost can be a return on your investment with a cost-benefit analysis. And so that's a whole nother story. The other thing that was a big takeaway from our call last week was the fact that it will behoove a business to engage with the Foreign Trade Zone consultant. And again, it's basically coming to us first and letting us connect you to those resources.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Foreign Trade Zone program is very intricate, intricate in terms of detail, but detail per business and the kind of business you do. So we want to make sure that we walk the right walk.
Yeah, and you want to work with somebody who does this
All
all day,
the time.
every
Expert.
day.
Yep.
And for many of us in business, we also just don't have the time or the capacity necessarily
Absolutely.
and you want to do it right.
That's right.
That's how I feel about
The first time, right?
Yeah. It's like why I outsource payroll.
Absolutely.
I will screw it up.
Absolutely.
I don't want to do that. So.
And why I love the IT department.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Find the experts. And you have worked with some companies in the Bangor area who are either working through this process or have established foreign trade zones. Can you just give us, without any detail, examples of what their experience has been like, or their return on investment, or they're glad they did it because...
Yeah, so right now we are shepherding businesses through the process. Understand that it is a process. So when I'm speaking to businesses, right, and I've worked with small businesses all across our country, oftentimes we want it done quickly, and this is a process, but understand that through the process, it's a phenomenal benefit that'll benefit your business. So we have to be patient and we have to walk through. I will say that the businesses that we're working with now are in industries where the product that they're importing has incurred a significant increase, and or they've never paid a tariff before, and now they're asked to pay a tariff.
Right.
So a lot of communication with us being that first step, but please know that you're in good hands. We've done our due diligence in the last year to really understand the program and also build relationships with our partners.
Once you are approved, you are in the foreign trade zone program, is that kind of a forever thing, or do you have to renew that?
It's a renewed application, an annual application, so it's very structured and thorough, and I am a fan of structure. I think we cannot be successful without structure. So on an annual basis, we will provide our members, our operators, a report to fill out. We will submit that report on behalf of them. And yes, it is a renewal process, an annual renewal process, but not with those upfront fees that you would pay initially.
Okay, good to know. Is there a good resource? I mean, certainly they can call you, they can call the department, but is there a good resource for people to go to just kind of get additional information about foreign trade zones?
Sure. So I would go to, you can start with our website, City of Bangor's website, as well as Maine International Trade Center website, and then ultimately from like a federal kind of national perspective, trade.gov, the Department of Trade website.
And Biguita was referencing an event we held with the City of Bangor, with Biguita and the president of the Maine International Trade Center, Wade Merritt.
Yes.
We did a Zoom town hall about this recently, and there were a number of companies there who are working through this process. And it was interesting to hear their questions and learn from them. So Maine International Trade Center is a statewide organization. If you're not familiar with it and you are engaged in international trade, you want to connect with them as well, because they have a lot of expertise and resources to help. And I think, the upside of all of this in terms of some challenges with international trade and additional costs for businesses has been that it's brought awareness to these programs that existed before, but businesses weren't necessarily aware of them or didn't necessarily need them.
Absolutely. I mean, timing is everything, right?
Yeah.
And this is the ideal time to introduce the foreign trade zone. And our counterparts on the federal level, they are seeing that response as well, right? All of our states, our cities are looking into, oh my goodness, this is a benefit for me, which is fantastic, because after we get stable, right? When that time comes, we'll understand it better and we can utilize it on a regular basis.
Right, and your business will already be in a good position.
That's right.
To be successful in this area. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. It's fun. I love to learn.
Yeah.
And the last year has been definitely a learning curve for us, but we are ready. And as I said before, you are in good hands. So come reach out to us and we'll talk to you more about it, specific to your business, and we will handhold you because this program is very intricate and it needs handholding you through the process.
Wonderful. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you, Deb.
Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
All right, go to the City of Bangor. Lots of good information. Thank you, Biguita Hernandez-Smith. Thank you for listening to Chamber Connect. I'm your host, Deb Newman. We'll catch you next time. Bam!
Boom!